Merry Christmas. Now, apologies for being a bit of a Scrooge, but this year, festivities are in danger of supply chain problems, which have been caused as the economy has opened up following the COVID lockdowns. There have been shortages in all sorts of goods. Some of us might find it hard to get our hands on certain presents and festive treats. So how might it affect your Christmas day? Let's start with the all-important meal. Thank you very much. First up, the turkey. Now, Brits usually eat 9 million turkeys each Christmas. This one's delicious. Unfortunately, this year, British farmers have reared fewer birds. They were worried that they wouldn't be able to employ the workers to deal with all of the turkeys. Some people have predicted the production is down by 20%. That's 1.8 million turkeys. One way to avoid missing out is to resort to frozen turkeys. Aldi revealed that it was selling 1,500 frozen crowns a day at the beginning of October. That's 4 times as many as last year. There might also be issues with pork products, things like pigs in blanket and gammon roasts. The companies that make these usually start producing them as early as July. They've also had problems getting hold of workers, and that means that there are already gaps in what they have been able to supply to shops. So I'm going to eat these as quickly as I can. There might also be issues with vegetables, especially potatoes. This is not so much about supply chain problems, but the weather in Europe earlier this year. There were floods that destroyed lots of crops. Experts say there's already a shortage of chips, and this could spread to spuds. Now, booze. There's better news here because alcohol lasts a while. Drinks retailers like Majestic said they've got their orders in early so that they could stockpile ahead of a rush. That said, there was a shortage of CO2 earlier this year, and that's the gas that puts the bubbles in beer and cider. Right. Pudding. Thank you very much. There's been a rush of these too. Retail data shows that 500,000 people bought their Christmas pudding as far back as September. That's 76% up on last year. When it comes to the family favourite Quality Street, it might also be worth stocking up. Nestlé, the company that makes Quality Street, says it's faced some labour shortages and transportation issues, but it's working hard to ensure there are enough tins of sweets for families to fight over. One thing you can't really buy much earlier is a Christmas tree, unless it's a plastic one. Retailers are saying that high shipping costs plus a shortage of fertiliser and pallets means the cost of Christmas trees this year could be 5 or 10% higher than normal. But if you want decorations, don't wait. Bulky, low-value items that are typically made in Asia are incredibly susceptible to the kind of supply chain issues that are facing the global economy. That's especially true of things like crackers, tinsel, and lights. Now the meal's over, it's time for presents. Ooh, this one's for me. Ah, it's a book. Books are an issue. Booksellers are stocking up with plenty of books. But lots are released in the lead up to Christmas, and there's no telling what's going to be popular. If there's a surprise hit, then booksellers might not be able to get their hands on enough copies. When it comes to the little ones, you will be able to buy toys for kids. The question is whether you'll be able to get the toy that they have their hearts set on. Because of the shortage of shipping containers, it might be hard to get your hands on some of the bulkier items. It's a good thing that I bought a bike nice and early, because they have very complicated supply chains and therefore might be scarce. On the plus side, there might be a little less screen time this Christmas. A worldwide shortage of microchips is affecting things like gaming consoles. So, what will Christmas look like this year? Will it be a winter of discontent or contentment? It certainly needn't be disastrous. It might make sense to seek out some of the alternatives to the most sought-after goods. Retailers are also urging their customers to not leave purchases to the last minute or even the last month. We all complain that Christmas gets earlier each year. This year, that might not be such a bad idea.